Whoopsies.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
I don't know what my only crime was being happy. That's all I did.
I hate you. Holy shit, Danny.
Hey gang, it's me, Matt, and we are recapping Smackdown all on my own tonight. So bear with me. It's my first outing solo, even producing my own stuff. It's all in-house. One guy does it all, and everyone's gonna yell at me in the group chat. So we're off to a great start. So Smackdown tonight. I don't remember where we're from, but it looked like a big crowd, probably another sellout. And we started out with "Yes, boy." We started out with Pretty Deadly versus RKO. KO? Is that what we're calling them? I didn't know if they came up with a goofy nickname or not. Let me get the there we go. We'll see how I wanted this to go down at the bottom with all the other stuff, but that doesn't appear to be the same thing. Can I get this to go to ticker? Can I change this to ticker? Sorry, like I said, we are doing first time on my own. Let's see, does it work now? No. Okay, so we're just gonna keep on keeping on. So this match was good. I've talked about it before. I really like Pretty Deadly. I think they're fun. They're goofy. They've got the gimmick down. It's fun. It's silly. Like, what's not to like about it? And they looked the part. I think they should have the same last name. Like, they should be brothers, because I only ever remember one of their names. Elton Prince. The other one's Kit Wilson. Okay, I guess I can remember their names. I didn't even have that part written down. But so they look good. And this definitely, I thought of this as going two different ways. One, on paper, it's an easy win for Randy and Kevin Owens. They're both Grand Slam champions, WrestleMania main eventers. I wouldn't call them tag team specialists, but they kind of outclass Pretty Deadly. That being said, they got to have some kind of confrontation. They got to butt heads at some point before this triple threat match. So I definitely thought that was definitely an option for tonight. And that's what I wanted to see. I didn't want to see Pretty Deadly lose. It's bad enough they're not, in the WrestleMania tag team match, in my opinion. I would have taken them over. Well, we'll get to the ones who did win tonight later, but I would have taken them over either of the two eventual winners. So this match, fun, quick match. It goes along nicely. Pretty Deadly. They're having a lot of fun at the announce table right off the bat in this match. It's the first match of the night, and they're bouncing Randy's head on the table, doing spots on the table. It's fun. Randy's about to do damage to them on the table. Outside, KO's in the ring. Logan Paul goes out from underneath the ring, gets in the ring, hits KO with the knockout punch, courtesy of Brass Knuckles. One of the dudes, I think it was Kit, runs in, pins KO. Randy's confused. He's like, "How did you lose? Like, in just 2 seconds like that? What happened?" And KO's like, "That mofo, Logan Paul, he hit me." And, what Logan Paul, he actually went back under the ring. Kind of seems silly, but this was a fun setup for Randy to play with the crowd. Like, is he over here? Is he over here? He's over here. Randy pulls up on the apron, grabs Logan, starts beating him up. They're going to tear into him. It's a tag team match. We got a comment. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. It's a tag team match. It was because of Brass Knucks. We knew I was going to go 50-50 on this match on who was going to win. I just could tell you that if KO and Randy were not winning, I could tell you that Randy was not taking the pinfall. Come on. It's Randy. So that being said, they're about to get their revenge on Logan. Pretty Deadly get back involved. Then they get killed by Randy and KO, kind of negating their win, which sucks, but it is what it is. And then we have an awkward chase. And entirely blame this on Logan. Maybe it's his inexperience, but it's a typical chase. Like you run away, maybe you turn back like once and like you keep running and the other guy has to keep pace with you and make it interesting and exciting. But like Logan kept turning around. He kept backpedaling, like egging Randy on. And Randy's just like at a slow and leisurely pace. And I know I get that's how he walks to the ring, but he wants to kick this guy's ass and he's running away. He should be hightailing it to get to him. So that kind of took the wind out of my sails for this chase, which should have been fun and silly and like standard operating procedure. Instead, it was slow and painful is maybe a strong word, but it definitely wasn't good. And Randy basically had to slow down considerably because any reasonable like paced person would have caught Logan, no problem. So we're moving on from that. What happened next? Talked about the bad chase. Io Sky has a good promo. She talks about Bailey. Let me see if I can get one. We're gonna try the banners again. Yeah, no, it keeps showing up like that and not like down at the bottom. I'm not sure how to do that, but I thought I did. Obviously, scroll. Oh, here we go. Can we get it? Can we get it? Hey, now we're talking. Now we're in business. See, first time producing. I'm not doing so bad. We got one viewer. I'm sure it's producer boy Eric, but don't worry, you'll catch this on the rewatch, or we'll get some more people in here. We're gonna have a good time. So back to this promo with Io Sky. It's good. She talks about Bailey. She says like, Bailey, you started damage control not to like bring us in, but to like make yourself look good, to give yourself backup. It was like for selfish reasons. And, now you're dead weight and we put up with you long enough. And now look where I've gone and look where you're at. Like you're done. You're a joke. And it was really good. She said it all in Japanese. It was similar to Shinsuke's promos, but not too similar. Like, honestly, I think the comparison is that they both spoke Japanese and they both probably have the same font on their captions. But the style felt different enough. Like, it felt like it was coming from the same people, but like not like, oh, just copy and paste. So I like that. I thought this was good. I would like to see more. I also feel like it means more coming from Io than it does Shinsuke. I really like Shinsuke's, but the man's been losing so much. There was something today. He's lost 39 out of his last 40 wins. Some of those might be house shows, so it's not as bad as it seemed, but it's still not good. Back to Io. She wraps up the promo. Bailey comes in, beats her up. They told us about this before, though, which was weird. They're like, Io did a promo in the performance center and Bailey attacked. We're going to watch it and see. It's like, I don't know why they would tell us that unless maybe they put it on social media earlier today, or maybe something got leaked. I don't know. It just seemed weird. It's like, was it predictable? Yeah. But like, did you need to tell us that was going to happen? No, like, I think it only like, diminished it and not elevated it. Like just have that promo go. It was not too long. And again, it was interesting. And Bailey came in and I thought the camera work was really good. Like they did multiple angles, like multiple styles. And like there was lights going all over the place because Bailey's like hitting her with lights. Small complaint, like Io was having a hard time getting her jacket off. And like Bailey almost had to stop to like, but Bailey's a professional. She made it look good. She was able to time it right where she kind of slowed down and then wailed on her after she got the jacket off. But that's always funny in wrestling. I feel like all these people have been wrestling for so long. Maybe give your jacket a test run before you do that whole taking it off deal before in a fight. That's just my 2 cents. Not a big deal. It was still a good promo and fun beatdown. I definitely dug the beatdown and it felt raw and interesting. And I definitely enjoyed it a lot. Give me a sec looking at my notes. Is there anything else I said about that? No, that's it for that segment. So moving on, let me get to this. No, I wanted to make it a ticker. Save. All right, we got Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill in the house. So Nick Aldis came out. He's like, I got this new signee. It's Jade Cargill. We all knew it, but she's like officially here. She comes out in like this red latex thing. Not my favorite outfit of hers, but she still looked fantastic. So, hit me with the bonk stick for Jade Cargill. She comes out. She cuts a little promo. It's about damn time, she says. And I mean, you're right. We're 2 weeks from WrestleMania. So hopefully you're here to do something for that show. Otherwise, I would have said wait after. But she says that's what she says, and she also says check the weather update because the storm has arrived. And I'm like, cool saying. I like it. I like it. She has done a Storm cosplay in AEW. We'll see if she has any Storm inspired gear when she wrestles in WWE. So very exciting to see Jade Cargill, and it looks like she's ready to hit the ground running. We've only seen her wrestle once at the Royal Rumble. There was speculation that she was going to be in the Elimination Chamber. Speculation they decided not to put her in because they didn't want her to get pinned, and I get that. Makes sense. But she's here. She looks great. And, hopefully she's had enough time. I'm confident she'll do well. I think, it's been a while since, not counting Royal Rumble, it's been a while since we have seen Jade Cargill. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this stuff. These little tickers. It's been a while since we've seen Jade Cargill wrestle. Don't mind me as I stall for time. And that should be good enough. Okay, so moving on. We got Damage Control. So it is Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, and Asuka in the back. I think Kayla Braxton was interviewing them. Regardless, Dakota's in the main event tonight, which is really cool in my opinion. You'll remember she was in the main event 3 weeks ago against Bayley. We reviewed it. I was not a fan of the ending of that match, and I thought it wasn't as strong as the other promotions' women's main event of that week. This week, though, we'll get to her match. In the meantime, we have her promo here. She talks about the match she's having with Bianca Belair tonight. And what was the thing she said? She talks about her being the smartest, the roughest, the toughest. And then she says something along the lines of her being the dumbest for getting back involved with Damage Control. This is a hurdle that Bianca pretty much like overcame while Bayley was the head honcho, eventually losing the title to Io Sky. But it seemed like, that wasn't the main focus of Bianca Belair until recently. And Dakota's just like, yo, this is dumb. Like, what are you thinking? Don't do this. But she's going to kick her ass tonight. So that's what we have in store. And then next up, give me a sec. Next up, we have Nick Aldis in the back talking to Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And I guess they're both there just to remind us that they're still on the main roster. Haven't really had much for them to do, which is a shame. I like them both. I don't really know what they were saying with Nick. It was kind of not important. I felt like they were just there to show off their outfits. And Nick Aldis, had a look. Seemed to be approving. If you like Seinfeld references, you read our banner on the bottom. It says, get a good look, Aldis, in regards to Isla Dawn's outfit, flattering outfit. He then walks down the hallway and he talks to, give me a sec, he talks to AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. And it's fine. I don't know about how you guys feel about AJ. I've never been less interested in AJ Styles, which is a shame. He's still an awesome performer. can still wrestle really, really well. But this return, like, sure, he looks great. He's never been in better shape, but just the whole I'm wearing jeans, black jeans, and I wear a goofy black jacket to the ring, and just I feel like he does nothing. It feels uninspired. Maybe he's frustrated. Maybe he's just getting older. I don't know. I don't think it's that last part though. I would maybe gather maybe he's more frustrated than anything, but just not a fan. He says like, oh, he suggested that LA Knight stay home tonight, and AJ's like, good, but I know he's here. We've seen this enough times. We know AJ, we know LA Knight is here. He'll take care of it. Like, screw LA Knight, the standard operating procedure. And then what else we got? Okay, so then we go on to our first of the qualifying matches for WrestleMania, the tag team 6-pack ladder match challenge. We got new. I'm sorry, no, we have shoot, which one we got here? Okay, my fault. Pump the brakes on the LWO. They're not yet. First off, we have the Street Profits versus the who the hell are they called? Oh, my favorites. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And it's fine. The match, it's rather short. What happened is what I predicted, is that we got, actually it's not exactly what I predicted. Here we go, more stuff. That's the banner. So they're having the match. It's fine. The New Testament attacks Bobby Lashley and B-Fab backstage. So specifically, Bobby Lashley and B-Fab were in a backstage room, like their little party room, whatever, and they had like drinks and whatnot. And we see the after effects, like they're on the ground, everything's everywhere. Karrion Kross has the bottle. He jokes that like it's the cheap stuff, and like, Bobby should do better. He like, this is all on the Titantron, so the Street Profits are just completely distracted watching this as nothing's going on in the ring. And they leave. He leaves with the empty bottle. I really wanted him to smash Bobby with the empty bottle. I feel like that would have been more interesting. So that happens, and people come to the room. Like, people are taking care of Bobby. It's like, oh my God, what happened? Like, we'll take care of this. And at this point in time, Montez Ford is like on the top rope. He's ready to do a splash on Austin Theory. And Angelo Dawkins is on the side. And I'm starting something now. We're going to get it's the doofus of the week. And the doofus of the week this week is Angelo Dawkins. He turns to Montez Ford. He's like, yo, like, I got to go check on Bobby. And it's like, bro, you win this match, you go to WrestleMania. Like, you're going to like bail on Montez Ford to go check on Bobby Lashley, who's already being checked on by other people. Like, it's not your wife. Like, if it was your wife, I'd get it, but like, it's Bobby Lashley. Like, he can take care of himself. This is ridiculous. So he runs off. Montez, and that's why Montez does the frog splash that he does oh so well, but Austin Theory puts up his knees, puts him in a pinning predicament, gets the 1, 2, 3, and Angelo Dawkins runs back at this point. So he didn't even like fully commit to going to Bobby. Like, he made it like up the ramp and then back, and the match is over. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are going to WrestleMania to be in the tag team championship ladder match. And Angelo Dawkins, congratulations, sir. You are officially my first doofus of the week. What a stupidly, like, I get that wrestling can be predictable, and a lot of times we see things coming, and sometimes you just need to do that to progress the story. There were ways to make Angelo not look like such a moron. Like Grayson Waller could have attacked him on the apron and that would have been enough. Like, the distraction of the video should have been enough for Grayson and Waller. Grayson Waller, I said Grayson and Waller. Grace, that sounds like a law office, Grayson and Waller. What do you think? So, we do have some comments. Sorry. I was stuck on the banner and again, first time doing this. Hey, thank you. Shut up. I shouldn't have shown that one. You're the clip machine, I guess. Anyway, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory should have been able to capitalize on just the simple video distraction. Like they didn't need like Angelo Dawkins running back. It looked dumb. Frankly, we've talked about this on the pod, and I'll get into it more when we get to the other tag match. But I think Austin Theory should be super thankful that he's in WrestleMania because I think he's had one of like the most boring, disappointing career lows, like from the highest of highs to like the lowest of lows. I think he's had on the roster this year probably the lowest low. Maybe Solo Sikoa more, but both of them so high just to be so low now. But he's still a Mania, so good for him. And I think that might have been strategic on the company. It's not great look if like the WrestleMania before you beat John Cena and you were US champ and then you're not on the card the next year. That kind of is just like, what the hell happened? But we've all seen what happened. Like Austin Theory has not elevated. I think after Mania, I don't think they're winning. After Mania, I would love to see him break off from Grayson Waller, whether they have a feud or not. Just do something with Grayson Waller because I think he's proven to be more of a commodity this past year than Austin Theory has. And just put Austin Theory back in NXT. I know that's like a downgrade for a lot of guys. In most cases, it is, and it is for him, I think would be considered demotion, but maybe he can take advantage of it. There are guys who, even if they've gone back to NXT and maybe they haven't been a huge deal when they get back, like they're not the Finn Balor's or the Samoa Joes, but they've still put in good work and I've enjoyed them. Like guys like Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze. Those are two guys. Also, why isn't Tyler Breeze managing Pretty Deadly? That should be a thing. He's still with the company. And now I'm going into a completely off topic. So let's get back on board. Doofus of the week, Angelo Dawkins. You heard it here first. So now we'll get to the right banner. Give me a sec. Bam! The LWO. So we get a recap of things that happened last week. Sorry, not last year. We have a turf war. Sorry, not a turf war. A faction warfare. I feel like we'll talk about a turf war that could happen later on, but faction warfare between the LWO and Legado del Fantasma, and we saw last week that Santos Escobar beat Rey Mysterio. So they come to the ring. They're gloating. They call out Dominic Mysterio, who helped Santos. So Dominic comes out by himself. I feel like this is weird. I thought like last week was like a one-off, especially, because they're in separate groups. But Dom has been just doing a lot of stuff with like the Latino wrestlers. He's helping out Santos Escobar. He's trying to recruit Andrade. Like he just seems to be like forgetting about the Judgment Day. It's just like anybody who he has like, he's got what's the word? Not compadre. He's anyone who's got that Latin heat, that Latin fire that they share. He seems to be like down to hang out. I was gonna say down to clown, but that's not the right. That's a whole nother story. So Dom comes out, gets booed, of course. Then the LWO comes out. Also, I noticed that Santos Escobar has an LWO tattoo on his hand. I don't know if that's new. I don't know if I never noticed. Probably because he has his wrist taped usually. but I thought that was interesting. So LWO comes out. Ray, I think, is the only one who talks, and he's just like, I'm sick of both of you, and I'm like, I see where this is going, and I'm like, no, because if you know me, I want Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio 2 at WrestleMania this year. Let Dom get his win back. I understand they want to like showcase Santos as well, but I just don't think this is the right move, and I'll get to the turf war idea in a little bit. So Ray, they're jobber jawing, and Ray says, "I want you two in a tag match at WrestleMania against me and a partner of my choosing, like from the LWO." And they're like, "Oh, which one of these losers are you going to pick?" And again, none of these guys say anything. They're just standing there. It's Carlito, it's Cruz del Toro, and it's Joaquin Wild, and of course you can count Zelina Vega, even though obviously she's not going to be the tag partner. And Rey Mysterio is just like, nah, none of these losers. They like, screw these guys. It's going to be the newest member of the LWO. And I'm thinking Andrade. He's the guy that Dom has been talking to this whole time. It's like, stick it to Dom and go with Mysterio. Gives Andrade something to do. But to my surprise, it's Dragon Lee, who I had completely forgotten about, which is sad because we just watched him wrestle. I saw him wrestle 3 weeks ago. Incredible talent. He worked a very short match 3 weeks ago and lost. I don't know if he's done much on the main roster. Obviously, former North American champion. And to be fair, he does have. I'm trying to think. Did Wesley lost the North American Championship to Dom? Then Trick beat Dom. Then Dom beat Trick. I think, Dragon Lee beat Dom. So I guess there's history there, and that's why it makes sense. But he just so was not in my mind at all. You know what I mean? I don't know about you guys? Let's see if we got any comments. Nah, no comments. But like he was just not on my mind at all. So it was surprising to me. Could they put on a good match? Sure. Do I care? Absolutely not. I don't fucking care. And they have like a beat down, everyone gets beat up and whatnot. Yada yada yada. Seinfeld reference. Here's what I would have done. Again, I want to talk about turf warfare. And they might not have wanted to do this because maybe it would get mistaken for a race war. I don't know. But I would have liked to have seen the LWO, Carlito, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wild, and potentially Zelina Vega. They could make this those four versus the New Testament or the Old Testament or the Testament, the Final Testament. Those four people, the Final Testament, AOP, Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, those four. Then the Pride, you got Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, and B-Fab. And finally, Legado del Fantasma. You got Santos Escobar, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. And then I like her. What's her name? Elektra Lopez. You could do a 4-on-4 16-person intergender tag team match. And I know it sounds nuts, and I know you might, mistake it for a race war, which nobody wants. Not a WWE PG, not a good look. But you could either do all those 4 teams of 4, or you could leave the ladies out. I think it would be more interesting. And then you get Dom versus Ray. And obviously there would be nothing for Dragon Lee, but that's what the Battle Royal is for. Put him and Andrade in the Battle Royal. We're not getting that. People are telling me, oh, you got to be more patient for Ray versus Dom. And I'm like, Ray's getting old. He does get injured. I'm not saying he can't go anymore. I'm just saying, like, we're lucky that we have him for Mania this year because he just got back from injury. Anything can happen in WWE and in life. And it's right there. It's right there in front of us. Take it while we can get it. And maybe we can get a part 3 next year or not. Doesn't matter. I just think 2 years in a row is great. And that's hard to pass that up. And again, I don't think a tag match that has Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee elevates that at all. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And I like both those guys. I really do. And I'm happy for them that they're going to have a spot on Mania, especially Santos Escobar. He's been here for a while. I think Dragon Lee, I don't want to say he doesn't deserve a spot on Mania, but he just got here. He really just got here. Like, I think it's shocking that he's on the main roster already. I just feel like there's other people that have put in more work in WWE and NXT that deserve a spot. It does seem kind of bizarre. Like, I wonder whose idea it was. Who knows? Maybe Ray wanted to do it. We've got a comment here. Seems like a Vince match, to be honest. And I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, obviously it's not, but that for me personally, you went from a match that's must see for me, Ray versus Dom 2, and now you've made it a match that, like, if there's a match I have to skip on the card, I wouldn't lose sleep missing that match. Eric also says, let me put all the Espanols in a match and call it a day. That's what Vince would say. Well, that's what I went with, like, oh, do a turf war. Like, you got the one Spanish group on this side, you got the other Spanish group on this side, you got the black guys on this side, you got the white guys on this side. Actually, AOP, I don't think they're white, but you know what I'm saying. Like, that match would be ridiculous. I don't think they could go more than like 10 minutes because there's just so many effing guys and it would just take up too much time. But I wouldn't mind. That's kind of like a Meat Madness match in my mind, like a variation of it. So many dudes and 4 girls. And I really like Elektra Lopez. So hit me with the bonk stick. But moving on, let me see if I have the next banner ready. No, I don't have the next banner ready, but luckily I've got... let me get rid of that comment first. Bah, there we go. Sorry, still new at this. So we have... There we go. Let me get back to it now. So yeah, all that stuff happened with LWO versus Legado. We go backstage to Bianca Belair and Naomi talking. I kind of tuned out for this. They're talking about damage control, having each other's back. Bianca knowing what Naomi's going through right now because she's been having issues with damage control. And Naomi's like, kind of like, I got your back. Like, I got you. And they hug it out. And I'm like, okay, I guess to me, it felt like they're going with a tag team match at Mania. Like, what is Bianca going to do in Mania? There was speculation that maybe she would work with Jade. There was speculation that she might work with Tiffany Stratton, which James and I both agreed, even though that would be an awesome match. We don't want to see either of those two lose. And my recommendation, my suggestion was, like, have her do a tag team title match and have her win it. My thought was that they were going to have her and Jade team up. Now it looks like it's Naomi. But regardless, we got the main event coming up with Bianca and Dakota Kai. Before we get there, Dom goes to the back as well. He meets up with the Judgment Day. They've been watching the tag team tournament, see who's going to be in the WrestleMania matches. And they're annoyed with Dom. And I feel like they're not annoyed enough. They're kind of just like, Dom, what are you doing? They should just straight up be like, bro, you're in Judgment Day. You're not in Legado del Fantasma. I just want to call them new LWO. I wish they had gone with that. Legado World Order. That's cool to me. And it's just kind of like, and he's just like, oh, I just wanted to show you I can take care of business. It's like, what business? It's not your business. You've been not feuding with your dad for a while, and now you're just going to come back to have a tag match with your dad. It'd be one thing if you're like, Dad, you beat me last year at WrestleMania. That doesn't sit right with me. I want a one-on-one match, but you've already heard me talk about that already. So I didn't like this backstage segment. It seemed silly and dumb and like I felt like people's priorities weren't straight, priorities weren't right, straight, whatever. And I didn't like how people were reacting. It didn't work for me. We now move on to Legado del Fantasma versus New Catch Republic to see who gets the final spot in the tag team match at WrestleMania. Now, this is interesting because Legado just kind of had a beatdown with LWO. So it's like, do we look badly at New Catch Republic for like taking advantage of this, or is it not their business and, sucks to be you? I don't know. All I know is, speaking of sucking, this match sucked. Like, they just didn't have it together, especially Legato's side. They just seemed like they weren't on the same page. Some botches, some missteps, some miscues, some whiffs, and it only started getting good till at the end. The end was cool. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on at the end. Legado, they got both guys in the corner on the top rope, and they do a double power slam to Tyler Bate, and it was really cool. That's a top rope power slam. It was great. Then Angel Garza hits a bunch of people with knees. It's fun. It's like there was a lot of fast-paced action going on at the end. And then New Catch Republic hit their double burning hammer, which again, I think is like a fine move. But it is what it is. And they're in the finals. Not the finals. They're in the WrestleMania match. So now we've got all 6 teams. We've got the Judgment Day defending the tag team titles against at WrestleMania in a ladder match against Awesome Truth, DIY, New Day, New Catch Republic, and the not the Street Profits, the other dudes. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And we've talked about on the show, we think that the majority of us think that the ladder match should be for the U.S. title, that there's way more better contenders for the U.S. championship than there are for the tag titles. Like, I'll go down the list. Really, Awesome Truth is the only one of those teams that's really hot right now. They haven't challenged for the titles yet, but they're also only hot because of Truth. Like, Truth could team up with Goldust right now, and I think it would still be hot. Regardless, they're the hot team. They're the team, in my opinion. They're probably going to win. That's the one WrestleMania prediction you get until our WrestleMania prediction video. So you got them. You got DIY, who unfortunately are not hot. Like, they're good. They put on good matches, but this whole run that they've done, I don't get it. It's like they got back together because neither of them were doing anything. That's literally why they got back together. There was not a in-storyline reason that was compelling. And they lost their tag title match like maybe 2 months ago now, before the last pay-per-view. They didn't even get a pay-per-view match. They were on Monday Night Raw and they lost. So not super hot, but I could have seen a triple threat match for the tag titles with them. I'm not disrespecting Goldust. I'm just saying, like, R-Truth is so hot right now that he could be with any former tag team partner of his and people would be about it, and they would probably be the strongest team challenging going into the WrestleMania. Like, it doesn't even have to be Goldust. It could have been Kofi Kingston. Like, let's say Xavier Woods is out of the picture and like he could team with Kofi Kingston, and that would probably be the hottest team. So regardless, going back to my teams, I just did Awesome Truth DIY. We got New Catch Republic, fairly new team. They still have a lot to do. I think it's great that they are in Mania because they've been with the company a long time and they've never competed at Mania. We know that Pete Dunne, when he was Butch, he was supposed to against the New Day, but Big E got injured and they made it a 2 versus 2 match and he was out. I think they should have done a handicap match, but that's just me. So it's cool that they're in it, but I don't necessarily need to see them in it because, again, they just lost the pay-per-view, the last pay-per-view Elimination Chamber. So, again, not really a hot team considering they just lost. Then you got Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, who I feel like are kind of untested as a tag team. Like, I don't think they've even had a tag team title match, but they're mostly just cannon fodder in general, especially Austin Theory. We've seen him like go down the card, fall down the card. Like, it's not great. Um, Maybe they just wanted to have them in there to have a heel team and just kind of be less embarrassed about how much Austin Theory has kind of fall from grace. Also, I know management changed and maybe management's not as hot as on him anymore, but he still hasn't been putting on bangers. Let's be honest. That's a big part of it. And then you got uh the last team that before New Catch Republic, the other team. See, I've already forgotten who the other team was. It wasn't Legato. It was the pretty deadly damage control. See, I literally have to look because I forgot. No, I think I got them all. Yeah. So, yeah, you see what I'm saying? There's not very hot tag teams right now. There's a lot of hot guys for the U.S. title. Let's see. We got a comment here. I think this is Triple H giving Austin his last chance. Grayson is by far the better choice of the two. I think, yeah, I've mentioned that. I think that Grayson has really proved himself this past year because I've not been the biggest fan of Grayson in the past, but I will admit that he's put in compelling performances both in the ring and on the mic this past year on his main roster call up. But again, I would have taken them out and I would have put Pretty Deadly in. You give Tyler Breeze as their manager. You give them a WrestleMania entrance. Yes, boy. Like I can't imagine how great their gear would have been for Mania. It's like you got them. I wouldn't have put Imperium in it, but I would have at least had New Day beat Imperium to qualify. Like I think that was a cool. We've talked about on the pod. I thought that was a cool little side rivalry that was going on. Like they had the match, it broke down. They had a street fight. I think it's hard to go to a street fight to a regular match, but again, it's for a spot at WrestleMania, and they beat Alpha Academy and not even the real Alpha Academy, Tozawa. Like I would have put had them beat Imperium. So those are just my overall thoughts on that. So next up, we got AJ. We got an AJ promo. He goes to the ring. He's got his black jeans on. He doesn't have the jacket, thank God, but he's got his shirt. And he's like, I know LA Knight's here, yada, yada, yada. He disparages the cameraman because we all remember when Dean Ambrose dressed up as the cameraman. He's like, where could you be? They have a plant in a mask come out from the crowd. Security grabs him. They unmask him. It's not LA Knight. It's just a plant. They move on. And then AJ is in front of the commentary desk. And they just kind of have LA Knight goofily move into frame, kind of like a Dean Ambrose shtick, And it was fine. Like, it was humorous, but it wasn't super funny. Did I think it was good? No, not really. But I guess they just got to fill time, and that's what it felt like. It was fine. No big problems with that. They have a fight. LA Knight beats him down. He does a shtick. Everyone's happy. He should be winning the U.S. title at Mania. I'm sorry. It's just like, I think LA Knight is now another case of WWE pulling the trigger too late on a guy. And it's like, yeah, are they invested in him? Yes. Do they showcase him? Yes. But like everyone has been begging for this guy to win a title for like over 6 months. He should have had a match at WrestleMania last year. It was in LA. They didn't do that. Fine. He should have won the US title at SummerSlam. They had him win a battle royal and get to be the Slim Jim guy instead. Fine. Like, they haven't faced Roman Reigns. It's like, we know he's not beating him. Like, whatever. And now it's like Logan Paul just put two more guys in that match. It's Logan Paul versus KO versus Randy Orton. You have LA Knight. You have AJ Styles. You throw one more random dude in there, and you've got a 6-man ladder match for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. And I think that's great. But they're not doing that. I got to get over it. Instead, we're getting this LA Knight AJ Styles match, which is definitely a match. Like if I have to charge my phone, if I have to go to the bathroom, if I have to get something to eat at WrestleMania. By the way, I will be at WrestleMania on Sunday. I have my ticket. I'm ready to go. Hope to see you there. We're going to have a great time. So any of those things that I need, if this match is on Sunday, that's probably the match I will be doing those things at. Hopefully I'll be there Saturday as well. We'll see. I have to play it by ear, probably get a ticket last minute, if anything, hopefully on the cheap. You see anything, you let me know. So what would happen after that? Oh, so this is interesting. We had a Tiffany Stratton video package that I thought was really well done. Really showcased her, showed her that she's like this pretty Barbie doll, fashionista, but also very, very athletic and talented and can get it done in the ring. She's the total package and she looks beautiful. Hit me with the bonk stick, So it is interesting though. Like they're doing a video package. She's not here tonight. They do a video package for her. We got one more SmackDown till WrestleMania. What are we doing with Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania? And I got to be honest, unless they do something next week, I don't see them doing anything with her except for the Battle Royal. I don't think there's a spot for her. And it's unfortunate. I think there's a couple gals that are like Liv Morgan is another one. I don't think they have anything for her other than the Battle Royal, which is a shame because she came back at the Rumble. She's very, very popular. She's getting it done. I even said at the Elimination Chamber, it looked like, she was doing some power moves. It looks like maybe she's hit the gym a little bit more. Like she appears, the move she's doing, she looks stronger. And so it just seems like some of these ladies are going to get left out. And I get it. It happens. Like not everyone can be on the WrestleMania card. I get that. It is what it is. I certainly don't think they should do a triple threat with Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. I don't think they should throw Tiffany Stratton into the Io Sky, Bianca Belair, match. I don't think they should do either of those things. But I will say, I think that bringing Tiffany up before Mania was a mistake. And I stand by that. I would say definitely have her in the Rumble, but have her keep doing the rotation in NXT. I felt like she had unfinished business there. We saw her win the NXT title, and I think at the right time, and then she lost it to Becky very quickly. We saw something similar happen with Yes Boy, the Pretty Deadly. They lost maybe not quickly, but they lost to the New Day. They lost their tag titles, and it just kind of seemed out of the blue, kind of random. I think it was more detrimental to Tiffany because it was her one and only title win. Pretty Deadly had already held the UK NXT tag titles. So I felt like she had unfinished business. I understand if you watch NXT, it appears they're doing stuff with Roxanne. Like she's might be not Taya Valkyrie, Valkyrian or whatever her name is. The gal who beat Becky Lynch. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. Very talented though, but I would have maybe held off a little bit on Rox. I mean, it's hard to fit everybody in, even not even on WrestleMania, but like on regular wrestling and cards and whatnot. So hey, we got a like, so thank you very much. It's my first solo outing tonight. I hope you're having fun. I'm at my parents' house and I'm producing as well. So I'm sorry I don't have any clips to show you, and my banners I kind of ran out as well. But we're doing what we can. I think we've covered almost everything, but we're definitely doing some side tracking, which is fine because I'm the only person here, so it's not like I have anyone to bounce back off of. But by all means, please comment in. Let me know what you're thinking. I would love to have some banter back and forth. But yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen with Tiffany at Mania. I think she'll probably win the Battle Royal. I would have saved her for the night after Mania. I think she would have been an amazing debut. Have her in the Royal Rumble, stick with NXT, whether she wins the title back or not, regardless, have her debut on the main roster the night after WrestleMania. I think that would have been the way to go. And it's funny, it's like they're protecting Jade Cargill, not having her in the Elimination Chamber. It's weird that they didn't do the same. Maybe not weird, but I question why they don't maybe have the same appreciation for Tiffany Stratton. I get that they're different, but I still think they're both really, really something special, and that we should do everything we can to keep the aura around them. And I guess the difference being that Tiffany has lost before, so she can take another pinfall, I guess, in the Elimination Chamber. But regardless, that was the Tiffany video package. Well done. Sorry, I got a little something stuck in my throat here. Excuse me. So we're off to the main event. It's Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. I love Dakota Kai. She comes out here in her music, her badass music, not the damage control music. I think Dakota Kai is great. I think she should have been NXT champion at least twice already. I feel like there was 2 different opportunities she could have been NXT champion. Instead, she's just kind of relegated as the partner gal, the tag team championship, which is nothing wrong with that. I think she's better than that. She looks great, cool music, cool graphics coming up. She can't say enough good things about Dakota Kai. She's facing Bianca Belair, obviously someone WWE is very, very high on, but doesn't really seem to fit into this WrestleMania picture just yet. We know everything's kind of booked up in the main event. Maybe she'll get this tag team championship match. That was my prediction. So anyway, they go on to have a very, very good match. I would say it was better than the Bayley match that Dakota had 3 weeks ago. There were some really cool moments. A couple times, Bianca, the first time she held her up for a suplex, a stalled suplex. Maybe there's some misbalancing storyline wise, but she ends up dumping her over the top rope. Dakota lands on her feet, manages to escape. The match continues. Let's see what other any other cool things. She later on, I don't write a lot of notes on the matches themselves. If you notice, that's not. I'm more the storyline and opinion guys, not the moves and the match guy. But regardless, later on, Dakota Kai tries to hit her with a the runaround kick to the corner. Her legs go over. Bianca grabs her, sets her up for the KOD. Dakota is able to wiggle out of it and goes over the top rope again. Suckers Bianca in through the ropes. Dakota's about to hit her with a running knee. Bianca sidesteps, gets out of the way, and Dakota Kai rams her injured knee or recovered knee into the ring post. It looks brutal. Then she gets back into the what happens next? Oh, this is the best part. So once that happens, Bianca Belair grabs her. She's on the inside. Dakota's on the outside. She does an outside in suplex, like the ones that Brian Cage does. Very, very cool. I think she hits her with the spear, then the KOD for the 1, 2, 3. Damage control, not minus EO, so it's Asuka and Kairi Sane run in. Give me 1 sec. So Asuka and Kairi run in, beat up Bianca Belair. Then Naomi comes down. They talked earlier in the back. They have each other's back. She kind of gets some offense in. Dakota recovers from her loss. They start beating down on Naomi. And then I'm feels like something's coming here. It's not just the two of them. Is Bayley going to come out? But I don't think Bayley and Io are on the show tonight. They weren't. Who comes out? Jade Cargill. She does a outfit change. She switches to ring gear. She runs in. kicks everybody's ass. Bianca, Jade, Naomi, all standing in the ring tall, damage control, scurrying away with their tail between their legs. And it appears, if you're asking me and you're asking general wrestling fans, they'll probably tell you, it looks like we're getting the women's tag team champions in another 3 versus 3 like we had last year. So last year, it was Becky Lynch and Lita, the tag champs, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control, Bailey, Dakota Kai, Io Sky. This year, it looks like we're getting Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, the last 2 gals being the champs, versus Naomi, Bianca Belair, and the newly arrived Jade Cargill. I like it. There's parts I like, there's parts I don't like. First off, I thought it was interesting in the night, like when Jade came out, and I realized, and I might be wrong, someone should fact check this because I can only think of one. I think all but one of the black female superstars are on SmackDown. And I'm like, is that by design? Is that like, is that a coincidence? It definitely it came to mind. The only I think so we got Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi, and BFAB all on SmackDown. The other we got Kaden Carter is on Raw. So I think WWE only has on the main roster 5 black female superstars, and 4 of them are on SmackDown. And I was wondering if that was coincidence. It appears by design, and I like the 3-on-3 match. I think it works well for Jade. I was thinking that Bianca was going to be teaming up with either of these 2 women to take on the tag, to challenge for the tag titles. Having 3, I feel like further protects Jade. The only complaint for me is that it's the same match we got last year, essentially, or the same setup, especially considering it's still Damage Control, even if it's a different variation. And the tag titles are not defended. And I think that's a bummer. Not that people really care about them, but the other thing that I just thought about just now, and I had a feeling they weren't going to do anything. There's a couple other like tag teams that kind of just get left out of the picture. I really wanted to see Chelsea Green and I keep wanting to say her old name, but I won't do that. Piper Niven. I really wanted to see Piper Niven and Chelsea Green challenge for the tag titles. I feel like they've kind of been out of it since the Royal Rumble. I should check if Piper Niven is injured. I'll Google that real quick. Another team that's kind of just not going to do anything is Candice LeRae and God, what the heck's her name? Andy Harwell. I mean, Candice is just being a bad person, I guess, and it's not going to be showcased in any way, shape, or form. What are you going to do? And that's what I predicted. That's why I didn't really like the fact that she brought up. I'm forgetting everybody's name tonight. I didn't like how she brought up Maxine Dupree's dead brother. I felt like, okay, this is for nothing. It's not like a blood feud. You said it during a match, not even in a promo where everyone could hear you in the crowd. This feels like for nothing, and it essentially was. But yes, it looks like February 26, 2024, WWE Women's Division star reportedly out with injury. That's unfortunate. I still think they should do something with not Candice. They should do something with Candice, but I really think they should do something with Chelsea Green at WrestleMania. I think she's been so good the past year not to do something with her. We'll see. I could definitely see. I think if you have a battle royal and Tiffany and Chelsea are in it, there's no way Chelsea's beating Tiffany. It's just not going to happen. But we'll see. I just want Chelsea to win Money in the Bank, but we'll get there. Overall, I would say this is a pretty satisfying episode of SmackDown. There definitely was some things that felt like filler or just kind of like we just got to get to Mania. Just do whatever you got to do to keep moving forward. And I felt like that with the AJ stuff. It's kind of like whatever. Cool that they're doing another main event with women. I hope this was by design to really promote them and show how valued they are, as opposed to just like, well, what are we going to do tonight? It's the second to last Friday SmackDown before Mania. I'll just throw the women in the main event. Like, I hope that wasn't the case. I hope, there's a little more thought and consideration for them, because I think they put on a good match. I think going into it, the match I was most excited about was Pretty Deadly versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and I think it was a decent match, although kind of short. But there were a lot of tag matches tonight, so I get it. So there was 3, I guess. My prediction, and I'm surprised we're not. It might. I was thinking we might get New Testament versus the Pride at WrestleMania, and we might. But they also might just throw them in the Battle Royal. We've seen them do that before, where they're like, this is like a feud, but we don't have room in the cards, so just throw them in the Battle Royal. We saw that with Miz and Damian Sandow. That was a real bummer. Like, I would have loved to have seen them have a match at WrestleMania. Instead, we got Sandow getting eliminated by Big Show. Anybody remember that? That was a bummer. So overall, decent episode of SmackDown. Happy to have watched it. I initially had plans tonight, but they fell through. So I'm like, I can review SmackDown tonight. I could do it. And I could do it all by myself. One-man gang right here. So anyway, hour-long show, not a bad time either. I hope you had a good time. Definitely try and get the hang of this more with banners and other stuff. We'll see what we can do. Remember to comment, like, subscribe. Mark It Down Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and you can follow us individually as well. My name is Matt Cascone. You can follow me on Instagram at Matthew Cascone. And if you like Lego, at Matt's Minifigs. And our Instagram, let me make sure I'm getting it right. I think it's just Mark It Down Pod. Yes, our Instagram is at Mark It Down Pod. So I follow that pretty regularly as well. And like I said, we're good at getting back to people and whatnot. We'll have, I guess next up, we'll probably do Monday Night Raw. That'll be on Monday. And I imagine we'll do WrestleMania predictions after that. I'm going to be going to Philly on next Friday, a week from tonight, so I will not be reviewing SmackDown. But we'll try and keep you updated on everything that's going on and, just the usual stuff. So hope you had a good time, and hope to see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Let me make sure I do the give me one sec. Oh, no, I forgot how to do the... How do I do this? No, that's banners, brand. I can do this. Can I do it? Oh no, we're running out of time. I don't see where I'm looking for the exit. The new intro. Where the hell is outro? Oh, well, I do not see the... Let me look at it one more time. Outro. I don't see the outro, so I will have to leave it at that. Sorry, guys, no outro, but thanks for joining.